going to be live on the Facebook? YouTube?
No, YouTube.
Okay.
Okay, so hello everyone and good morning. In Sweden at least it's good morning. We have had a fantastic first day and night here from this broadcast called Best for the World. So Michael Cillian just ended the Captain Future show, and now I'm here with a fantastic initiative and I guess a fantastic person in front. Sadaf, welcome to this show, Best for the World.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and you don't have morning right now. You have some.
It is. I'm from. It's 11 a.m. in the morning from Islamabad, Pakistan. So yeah, it's morning over here as well.
Oh, that's great, and just going to arrange this. Yes. Okay. So and you have been having also intense days, I understand. So Sadaf, please tell us a little bit more about the initiative that you have been engaged in and what you have done the last, I don't know, days, weeks, months.
Okay, sure. So I'm currently working on the Sustainable Development Goals project, which is a United Nations agenda for 2030. I'm the CEO of SDG's Academy of Pakistan. So we had arranged a SDGs hackathon in March from 21st March to the 29th March. So as we all know, because of the current outbreak of coronavirus, we had to postpone it. Around 40 delegates were coming to attend this conference in Islamabad, Pakistan, in which the local participants, like from the government sector, from the education ministry, from the health ministry, the NGOs, universities, colleges, grassroots community, they were supposed to participate. But then we decided, because we live in the technology world, we decided to have a digital SDGs hackathon. So we had a 3 days digital SDGs hackathon from the 24th till 26th, 3 days. And we're going to carry on this week to have discussions on how we can link the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, specifically SDG 1, which is no poverty, hunger, health, and quality education in the current situation. So Michael was also with me online, and his other friends. So it was a very interesting discussion that we had all across the globe. Yes.
That's interesting in many ways. Of course, I understand that it all changed your plans, but on the other hand, it also opened up for new possibilities, I guess. Meeting with people that couldn't be there otherwise.
Yeah, virtually. I mean, it was really good because I'm working on SDG 17, which is a partnership for global ships. So I think we went live on Facebook. There were so many people who viewed, they shared their comments and feedback. So I think overall it was very good. I mean, nothing like being face to face and in a big conference, but so many conferences all around the world have been postponed. So I think we should have a very positive mindset in such situation to have an alternate for it, to give motivation to people that you can do creative, productive activities in such situation as well. So that should be a strong message, not for the professionals, for the youth, for the people who have this technology. How they can use it in a productive way?
Yeah, and I do agree on this because postponing or even canceling won't help anyone. But moving into new ways of meeting, new ways of creating, and new ways of being active it's an opportunity we have right now. Maybe we at some level are forced, but on another level, this is something that we have been talking about for maybe 15 years or something, going digitally together.
Yeah, I totally agree with you because, everybody, mostly, I mean, the developed countries, we have internet and Wi-Fi, even the mobile data, in the far-flung areas where they don't have internet, they use the mobile data and they have access to Google itself is a huge book of knowledge, Wikipedia, name all these platforms. I'm keeping myself because I'm very active myself. I travel a lot. It was very difficult, to stay at home in the beginning and to think of it that you're homebound, but then I'm exercising at home with the YouTube videos. It's raining since 3-4 days in Islamabad, so I can't go for a walk even in my neighborhood. So creating reading books, spending time with my family, going back to the old board games like Scrabble, Monopoly, like we used to play. So it's a bit interesting in a way, different, and I'm enjoying it. So I think that's the message. Like, we can do so much and take advantage. And then secondly, I would also like to add that there's so many online courses if somebody is interested, to have or people like the show that you're having right now, they're hearing our message, they can enroll for these courses, whatever interest they want, whether they want to learn something about maybe cooking, the housewives, or they want to learn something about photography, about travel, about any topic, they name it. I mean, they have access and they can learn so many new things and take advantage of this time.
Yeah, that's an interesting opportunity also. You mentioned two words or two sentences or whatever we call it. The one was the SDG, which is short for Sustainable Development Goals, and the other one was hackathon. So maybe we should just say something about those two concepts. Shall we start with the hackathon maybe, because that's maybe the word that I'm most curious about here, because SDGs, a lot of people maybe have heard, but we can go back to the SDGs. We start with hackathon. What is a hackathon?
So hackathon is basically I met Bertola. I don't know whether you know him or not. He visited Pakistan. I met him in a conference, and we were working on sustainable development goals. And he said this is a new buzzword coming, for when you hack something. It's called like a focused dialogue discussion. So it's like, why don't we use this word like a hackathon? Don't use a word typical like SDGs, a conference, or SDGs meetup. So we'll use this word for this conference. And I said, wow, it's interesting. So that is how we came up with the word, and it was his idea that he gave us and shared us, and that's how then we used it for this conference. Yes.
Yeah, and it sounds a little bit more engaging than a conference. It's more like, can I participate in it? Can I be engaged? It sounds a little bit more like that. Is that what it was?
Yes, it is. Like it was an open platform that we were giving on, so that people can come up, they can participate, they can give their ideas, opinion on specifically sustainable development goals. And a lot of people in Pakistan also, because first, as we know, there were Millennium Development Goals, and now there are Sustainable Development Goals since 2016. So a lot of, like, when I had meetings back to back over here for inviting people for this hackathon, a lot of people don't even know about SDGs when you talk about hair as well. So this was like an open, like an people to know about them as well, that how they can work on it and how they can implement, and in far-flung areas in Pakistan as well, engaging the youth, especially because Pakistan, we have a 67% of population is the youth. So we had a good feedback, and
How many was youth in Pakistan, did you say?
It's 67%, 67% of the population.
Wow.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also an opportunity. I mean, in the shift we're in, not being stuck in old patterns and habits and so on. So it's an opportunity for Pakistan, I guess, if you have that youth in your whole setup of people around in the society.
Yeah, it is. But then again, they don't have that. We're talking about these days capacity building, skill development. We are lacking in that. So you need to give them that platform so that if they get graduated or, from the universities and colleges, they have so many bright ideas to become a successful SMEs and entrepreneurs, as we talk about. But they don't have that kind of a platform. So that is also, we are trying to link them, with the right people so that they can start up their business. Yeah.
Yeah, and move forward faster than it would have taken to start from zero. That's a good idea. And building capacity could also be maybe borrow, as you say, capacity or share capacity and so on. When you had this hackathon, you told a little bit about people around the world joining in. I guess that how many from Pakistan was engaged in the hackathon, and how many was from abroad?
Yeah, every day I think there were about more than 50 participants on our on online, and about more than 2.3, 2.4 viewers on live on Facebook. And from the globally, there were about 5 to 7 different delegates every day. They were coming online. Yes, they were from US, from Norway, Sweden, South Africa, Sri Lanka, and Spain. Yeah.
So now you have actually practiced for the next hackathon then to have it digitally. Would you, if now as you are you still postponing the physical part, or do you think that this is a way of working that could work for this kind of setups?
Well, we'll see, because we are not, the things are not clear as yet, and this virus is spreading like fire everywhere. So unless and until, I mean, we would love to have it physically if things are okay and they go back to normal, but we don't know how long will it take. So, but still, we will be connected digitally, and we'll try to exchange ideas and work as much as we can to take advantage of it. Yes.
I'm also thinking a little bit, you were engaged in 3 days together in the hackathon, and you also mentioned that there were people working on these ideas. I mean, a lot of planning, I guess, for the physical meeting that was just then postponed or changed or whatever we call it. So can you tell something about the outcome, the ideas, the concepts, or the dialogues that were?
Yeah. So basically, we changed the topic. It was sustainable SDGs during Corona and SDGs after Corona. So the ideas that they were exchanged, that we talk about communication, right? That is a strong communication that we're using. We talked about networking. We talked about shared leadership. We talked about the environmental change that might have, that we have to look upon. We talked about family values, that how we can take advantage in such crisis. Then, of course, we talked about the health issues, how we can educate people, during this virus, to be alert, to be precautioned. And then we also talked about the use of the technology, like what we were doing. We should, tell the world that, they should not be, depressed or sad that, they cannot do anything. So a lot of things were discussed specifically on these topics: shared leadership, community, how we can be linked, environmental changes, psychological behaviors of people, how we can help them. Yes.
It's I guess you had intense days as we started out, and
yes.
And, I'm also thinking of very often when you arrange, at least when I have arranged different setups and so on, either you want to tell a story or you want people to engage. I mean, this is an opportunity to do both. I mean, Pakistan have a lot of ideas that they can share to the rest of the world, and the rest of the world can also
Yeah, so I can share my experience, because I'm also a social activist as well. I've worked in different calamities, and we are a very hardworking people, and we're very tough, are bringing up in tough conditions in Pakistan. So whenever something like this happens, the reaction that we get, that we all get united as humanity, like we work together strongly. Right now, my teams all across Pakistan, we've got academy in Karachi, and that is the Sindh province, because that was a complete lockdown there, and they're working day and night, to have a virtual combat, we've called it, for the COVID-19. So they've announced, we have doctors online to help people. We've announced some online courses so that we can distract people's mind, online classes. Then they are delivering online groceries, because we don't have that kind of system like you guys already had it. We don't have that kind of system over here. So they're introducing these new concepts in such situation, and everybody's learning. And again, they're using the technology as much as they can. And the same in case in Lahore. Punjab is a bigger province. the second biggest province in Pakistan. And over there also, the similar patterns, we are telling them that they should follow and be connected with people. We've made so many WhatsApp groups. They're exchanging views. Whoever need helps, they're giving food rations. We call it food packs, because a lot of people on daily wages, the labor class, they're the poor community over here. So they need food, to be supplied. So our teams are working, and I think it's a good learning experience. We're engaging the youth as well. For them, it's also a new learning experience. We're giving
Yeah.
them tips.
Yeah, and it seems as
Yeah.
the youth is not that hard pressed by the virus itself. So maybe it's the youth that can help us again. Maybe we shouldn't build system that relies on young people, but
Yes.
this is actually what is happening. At least here in Sweden, we see that
Oh,
the elderly and the risk groups, they have to stay very physically isolated, and a lot of them are that old that they are not used to the technology, so they really get also social isolated, and then the youth can help, and they can go help them with the shopping, and go help them with communication and everything, and also, I mean, if we have had in Sweden telephones for 100 years, but I mean, you never talk to your parents, maybe, I don't know, or your grandparents. So it is an opportunity again to reflect on, okay, so how can we be social even if we don't meet in a day-to-day basis? So maybe the youth again will sort this out.
yeah, I agree. And again, when I say that, even like over here, life has become so busy that we hardly see, like, I'm working and so many other people are working. They go in the morning, they come back in the evening, they hardly see their parents or their families or meet them. So I think it's a good way to rebond with them as we talk about family values
Yeah,
as well. So I think it's a very important, I mean, of course, it's scary as well. I mean, I'm trying not to watch news, but again, then back of the mind, I want to know what's happening around the world. So that is the only communication that we are linked with. So I think we should take advantage and make the most use of it in a productive way, rather than thinking, oh, what will happen or how long will it last? So that will make your mind even more in that state. So I think you need to find those positive activities, how you can be busy in such situations.
mm. Now we have been talking a little bit about what you did last week, or it was this week actually, just a couple
Yeah.
of days ago, and how
Yes.
you had to find new ways forward, and moving moving in the right direction, even if something is threatening or something is coming from the outside. That makes me very curious about Sadaf.
Yeah.
Why do you do what you do? What is your I mean, we can call it mission in life, or what makes you tick?
Well, as a kid, I've been very, I could say, ambitious, and to do something for humanity and people, and for myself as well. By profession also, I'm into tourism industry as well. I travel a lot. I have my own resort in the summer resort here as well. It's called the Walnut Heights in Pakistan, in the northern part of Pakistan. So I've been doing marketing for it for quite years, and I've been meeting so many people. A lot of foreigners used to come. Even now, they started coming. So I've met so many people as growing as a kid. And the exposure that I had, I think very few people maybe have this kind of an exposure. And seeing my parents, my mother is very active. She's been always active and doing something for the people. She's also an activist, social activist. I've seen her also. So I think I've learned quite a bit from my own family, and I think they're the role models for me. So that's the inspiration that I've got in me, that I want to do something good for the youth, or anything that I can contribute back to my society from what I've learned in my lifetime, and the exposure that I got. I want to transmit that, and people should learn from what I have. So that is, I think, the motivation and inspiration, because of my own family, that I've seen them so active, and I've learned quite a lot of things from them as well.
Wow. what a fantastic environment to grow up in and to being a part of. And yeah, I'm really impressed. And I'm also thinking of maybe I have stereotypes, of course, as any person have. Believing anything else would be quite stupid. So I believe that you're not the ordinary person in Pakistan. Is that right, or?
No, there's so many, as I say, because people don't talk about, like you know about Rehan Allahwala? Everybody, you know about him? So have you met him or no?
Who I didn't get the name.
Rehan Allahwala.
Yeah. I know Rehan. That's right.
So, before joining and working on the Sustainable Development Goals project, I never used to talk like I'm talking to you right now. And when he met me and he said that, you can do when you talk, it's the impact that you don't know that you're kind of a motivational speaker you can be. So you should open up and you should come up and talk on such platforms, because this is a strong tool. And I didn't realize then, because when you're talking you don't realize it unless somebody points it out to you, right? So I thank him that he said that you have this quality. And as back to your question, yes, there's so many people in Pakistan like me, like in my team as well. And I meet so many people, the women over here, people don't know, but they are so talented. They are full of energy. They're full of motivation. They work so much. Even being, having family life, being married or single, you see them. They're good bankers. They're doctors over here. They're teaching. They're into IT professionals. They're into tourism industry. We don't have a lot of females. But in all other professions, females you can see everywhere. But again, people don't know about it. They don't like to come up and talk like I'm talking to you right now. Maybe they're a bit shy, or they don't know that such platforms exist. So I think, you will meet a lot of people if you come to Pakistan. I don't know whether you've come. I would like to invite you. And I always act as an ambassador when I'm traveling. I've traveled to more than 30 countries. And wherever I go, when I take these group tours, I'm the only Pakistani from the Asian country. And they feel, oh, you're a woman and you're traveling on your own. And they get so excited. And then I tell them about my country and they get even more interested.
It's a huge country. I realize that. and plenty of people. So of course there is room for everyone in such a huge geographic and also I guess various ideas, various worldviews and so on. So I would be very eager to visit Pakistan. I was actually thinking of joining the hackathon, but then there were many things. I mean, you have had a very intense program already from start. 10 days it was in the original planning, and I was thinking, can I really put 10 days in Pakistan for this? But then all this happened around us, and so I didn't have to think anymore about it. So
so basically it was. Yeah, so the 10 days, it was like for the people, because a lot of people, they wanted to see after the conference, they wanted to see the northern part. So we had an open, whoever wanted to leave just for after the 4 days hackathon, they could go back. And the people who were interested to see, so we had put in the itinerary to see the mountains, the hilly area of Pakistan, because they wanted to see what we offer. Yeah.
A fantastic country. And I'm so inspired by you. So Rehan was right when he said that you should use those platforms, because you're really inspiring stuff. And as you said, being a role model, you never know who you are inspiring. So even if you don't think you do it, you probably will, and in all ways, of course. So I'm very glad that you decided upon doing good and also to share that with the world.
Yeah, I think, again, I would say that we all together, I mean, this global, we live in a global village, I always tell, and I always learn also. Every day we all are learning. It's a learning experience. And if I think we talk and exchange ideas and views, it broadens, it horizons your vision, your, your knowledge. And again, if people have the opportunity to travel, I always tell people as well, and my friends, that traveling is an education itself, because when I travel, I like to know about, different countries' culture, how are they, because I'm interested in the politics as well. So I follow the international politics as well. I talk to them about their music, about their education system, everything about their tourism. So I think it helps you, to learn more about people, about new people, about their cultures. So I think that also helps a lot, and give you the confidence as well.
Mm. No, it's been a very interesting talk setup. I don't know if you have, you have plenty of ideas, I guess, and you're engaged in this. Is it a company or a network or the SDG? What do you call the
It's
organization?
SDG's Academy. It's an
SDG's
academy.
Academy. Okay, so
Academy.
it's an academy.
It's a private academy, and Amar Jaffrey is heading it. It's one of his projects. You should interview him also. He's full of knowledge, and Rehana Lavala Bertola, everybody knows him. He's heading different initiative. He's basically a technology guy and encouraging people to use technology, from different platforms. So he's doing an amazing job as well.
I was thinking of, I had interesting talk yesterday with a guy here in Sweden. They had developed something that I'm thinking of SDG 1 here in no poverty, and I don't know if this is applicable at all in the context that you're in, but they had developed an open source platform for local food nodes for producers and consumers to interact on a local basis. Could that be of interest to connect you to each other?
Yeah, sure. I love to be connected and learn what they are doing, because that was basically the objective of this. I would like to share it with you. The objective of the SDGs hackathon on this level was to learn from the global practices, how they are progressing on sustainable development goals, and how we can learn on each goal from them. And we can try to replicate it for Pakistan, over here. So that was basically the core objective.
I will put you in contact with each other. His name was Albin Ponot, and I'll see if I can arrange that during the day. And what I'm thinking of is to look at this platform from another perspective and see if it could be something of value for the context that you are in. It's a kind of a sharing platform, but it's also connected to selling and buying. So they had used it for local food nodes, they call them, or record rings in Sweden. But maybe we can have another setup for it, because it's an open source, so you can easily reform what is already developed. So I put you in touch with Albin.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, if you have more ideas on maybe who we should meet, or if we can maybe even have a dialogue with what's his name again, the person you mentioned in SDG Academy?
Amar Jaffrey. Amar Jaffrey. He's the chairman of this SDGs Academy. Yeah.
You can see if we can arrange something in later on. We have still open spaces in the program tableau in late. I think it's Monday morning, so we can maybe get back on that. I can ask Michael to contact you.
Yeah, Michael is already in touch. Yeah, he can contact. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Super. Sadaf, anything else you want to share with the world where we are right now?
Well, because I want to talk about, because I'm very passionate about the Pakistan tourism industry, and people that they don't know about my country in Pakistan is that when things get back to normal, hopefully soon, they should visit us, because we have so much to offer that people don't know. We are very humble, peace-loving, hospitable nation, and there's so much to see if you're loving your love for the nature. Northern areas like K2 is the second highest mountain in the world. We get so many European expeditions climbing the summits over there for that kind of tourism. Then we have the Buddhist tourism. A lot of Buddhists come from Japan, Thailand, Singapore, China, Korea to see, because now we're promoting the Buddhist tourism as well. And then we have a desert in Balochistan, that part. We have a desert also, you can see that. Then the Lahore is a historical town, the Mughal history to see. So there's so much that we offer, but again, people don't know. It's a piece, I mean, everything is okay over here, and you can come and visit and explore. So I want to give a strong message that do come and explore Pakistan as a tourist destination.
Thank you, Sadaf. It's been a pleasure to talk with you on all those topics. It was not just a hackathon. It was not just SDGs. It was we can call it life. And I wish you all well for the next coming period in both society and in your own life. Of course, it will be different from what we have experienced before, but as you said, this also, even if it's a reality we have to face, it's also open up new possibilities. I really like that. So and a last word or something, and then we're making room for the next show.
Yeah, so I think thank you again so much for letting me come live on your show. And I would like to know more about you some other time, maybe what you do and what are you doing in Sweden. Mm-hmm. And again, a message for all the people who are listening right now, be positive, have good vibes, and we all will fight this over, and use your way as much as you can in a productive way. There's so much, chances that we have. And I think we all will do good. Yeah,
that's right. And for you who have been watching the YouTube stream or listening to the web radio on bestfolder.world, there is a full program tableau being created right now for the at least a day and more already full. But if you want to participate or engage in any way, maybe host a show, being guest in a show or whatever, there is still room for that. So visit bestfolder.world. There is the whole program tableau. We update it as soon as we can, and hope to see you soon again. And thank you very much once again for listening or viewing, and thank you, Sadaf, for a fantastic conversation.
Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day. Bye.
Yeah, have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.